This is a full activation workout designed for tennis players. This is something that I've developed over many years as a tennis player, coach, and working with various physical trainers and physiotherapists. We're going to start by doing a standing warm up where we're getting our arms loose, swinging them back and forth, as well as stretching our sides. We're going to then progress into some gentle butt kicks as we do these rotations, warming up the joints in our arms. Next, we're going to get our back going by starting with the morning salutation, integrating some back bends and some forward bends, warming up, stretching and getting our back mobility going for the day, as well as beginning to stretch out some of our hamstrings. Take our time, do some deep breathing when you're doing your forward bend, and do a couple of rounds of the morning salutation. Next, we're going to do some arm circles, making sure arms are very straight. And we're going to start with small circles, going to large ones, and starting as it warms up to accelerate and get to full end range. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go backwards, starting with small circles, going to large circles, getting to end range, and then again with our straight arms going back to small circles. Next, we're going to get our spine warmed up by twisting, and we're going to do these standing twists, warm up the rotational mobility in our spines. One more stretch to get that core rotation warmed up here. Keeping your arms straight, turning with the hips first, and then expanding to full end range with the shoulders. Again, starting by turning the hips to end range and then going with the shoulders. Keep those arms loose, do some butt kicks, and we're going to finish our standing warm up by going into a deep squat. Doing this regularly is going to help maintain your ankle mobility. And go as far as you can. Ultimately, we want to keep our back as straight as we can and maintain our posture during this. We're going to transition into our back lying series, where we're going to roll into a candlestick and do some ankle rolls, warm up our ankles, and doing some split leg stretches. I'm going to go forward, I'm going to switch, and we're going to do our lateral. And everybody has very different levels of groin mobility, so just do it to the best you can. And over time, this groin mobility is one of the key elements for a tennis player, so we want to make sure that we're progressing over time. Now we're going into these circles where we're going to start warming up our hips and continuing to get our groin mobility warmed up for the day. Now we're going to do a very slow spinal roll where you isolate each vertebrae, building your awareness for each vertebrae. Being very mindful about that, going slowly and controlled. We're going to go into some knee hugs with ankle rolls next, continuing to keep those ankles loose. Do dual knee hug and then one at a time. Continuing to do your ankle rolls. Deep breathing. Next, we're going to do a groin stretch, pulling down on your knees. Again, trying to expand our groin mobility especially for tennis players who are sliding on clay courts and or on the hard court. Next, we're going to do this lying circles with our knees and ankles, doing this hip mobility warm-up for the day. We're going to go in one direction where they're alternating, and then we're going to reverse it. Follow this up with a lying twist. Keeping those elbows down will help you stay balanced. Trying to squeeze the knees and keep the feet together. So only the lower half is rotating, the upper half isn't moving at all. Getting this core rotational mobility. Not only the mobility, but starting to get some of the core strength activated for the day. We're going to follow it up with a couple additional stretches, making sure that you're looking the opposite direction of your knee here. So we're building our neck mobility, as well as the back mobility here. These lying twists are good for recovery also. Now we're going to do the open book, where we lie on our side, knees together, feet together, and we're going to open and close with our arms. Also making sure that we're working on our neck mobility. As we open the book, we're going to make sure we look at our hand. Continuing to warm up the rotational mobility from our hips to our core, to our shoulders, to our neck. Next, we're going to go into some bridges. Starting with the bridge. Doing a few lifts, and then we're going to transition into single leg bridges. In the single leg bridge, we're going to make circles with our foot to warm up the hip. While building the single leg strength and getting that activated for the day. Couple single leg lifts, and then switch legs and do it on the other leg. Push through the heel. Try to keep your legs straight as you're doing these single leg lifts. Pushing up with the hips. Cool down with a little knee hug. And some ankle rolls as we transition into the boat pose. So from the boat, we're going to rock the boat. Try to maintain your posture, strong core, keeping your feet together. And we're going to transition into some Russian twists, trying to keep your eyes still and your knees still. While only the core rotates, we want our elbows to touch the ground without our eyes moving. Next, we're going to do a exercise I call fish riding a bike. It's a combination of the fish pose, where you lie back and you're doing a back bend while you're also activating your legs with the bicycle riding. Now, in the bike riding, it's good to go to end range with your legs and do some ankle warm-ups, doing some ankle circles. Also making sure you're going forward as well as backward as you're riding the bike. And we're going to then cool that down with a river pose, stretching our back and quads here, or hamstrings. And bring your feet in for a butterfly. Again, continuing to expand the groin mobility for the day. Bring your feet in tight, get your knees as low as you can while maintaining your posture. And we're going to transition now into the front lying series, starting with the cat-cow. Doing more forward and back bends with the cat-cow. The center of your spine goes up while you're looking down, and then vice versa. The center of your spine goes down while you look up. I like to rock forward and back in this position to start warming up the wrists, doing these rotations, making circles and warming up our wrists in this way. Applying pressure from a variety of angles. And then doing it on single hands, rotating the trunk. Rotating our trunk, getting the stretching our back, while also continuing to apply pressure on the wrists and warming the wrists up for the day from a variety of angles. Next, we're going to transition into bird dog. Start with a normal bird dog, and then we're going to do circles with our hands and our feet in rotating in opposite directions and then reversing it. Follow that with some dynamic bird dog. We're touching our knee with our hand. And then we're going to do some fire hydrants where we're doing some external rotations. And then reverse, do the other side. Next, from this position, we're going to work on our reach throughs. Continuing to warm up the rotational core, shoulder, back. Also getting neck mobility going, making sure that you're looking up at your hand when you're reaching up. Being careful to make sure that your knees and hands are straight and you're maintaining more of a straight spine as you're going for the reach through. Then I like to do a sitting on my toes, start strengthening the toes and stretching out the ankles as we transition into a airborne position where we're going to go into a downward dog. Tucking your chin, keeping your heels down, trying to maintain the straight spine, and really feeling the stretch in the hamstrings. Now we're going to go into an airborne bird dog where we're only on our toes and our knee is up. I choose to use fists. You can do your hands flat. I do fists so it's a lighter load on my wrists. Now, this is fairly challenging, so you might start off without the dynamic movements, just holding the air bird dog, and then transitioning to adding dynamics as you improve with your balance. Next, we're going to transition into a plank series. Go into a plank on our elbows. And we're going to do circles at varying heights. So we start at the top and we're going to transition going lower, and then we're going to transition to back going up. From there, we're going to go into a dolphin pose, into a plank push-up, back and forth a few times. Tuck your chin in the dolphin pose. And we're going to bring our knees to our elbows in the next variation. And then step outs. You can do 2 or 3 of each on each side. Finally, we're going to do reach ups. So we're going to try to keep our hips facing down when we do these plank reach ups, while still making sure that we're looking up at our hand. We're going to rest and do a lower back stretch in child's pose after the plank. And you can have your arms up or your arms down into more of a rock pose. This is also good in recovery and very good for the lower back. Okay, we're in a standing plank now. We're going to work on touching our toes from the standing plank. Tuck your chin when you're touching your toe and back into a straight plank. Keep that core strong. And we're going to follow that up by stretching our abs into the cobra stretch. Cobra pose, looking to the left, looking to the right, continuing to work on the neck mobility. You do it with your toes down as well as up on your toes. Now we're going to transition into some planks and some work on our sides. We're going to start with a reverse clam and a forward clam while lying down. We're going to then go into a side plank position and do the same thing. Start with a forward clam and then do the reverse clam. Expanding the end range. Then we're into a full side plank where we're going to do leg lifts and external rotations with our arm, finishing with an arrow pose. Then we're going to switch and do that on the other side. Again, starting on our side, doing reverse clamshells into forward clamshells. Into a half side plank with the clamshells, forward and back. Into the full side plank with the leg lift and the external rotations. Finishing the side planks with the arrow and then going into the river pose for a little more stretching of the back and hamstrings before we stand up into the final standing series. We're going to start the standing series in a nice squat. Get your butt down to the height of your knees. Athletic position, and we're going to do one at a time. We're going to have our knees go out for 5 and then both of them out and in for 5. Just warm up the groin a little bit more. Stand up, and then we're going to go into our hip circles. And in the standing series, we're going to start adding some boxer shuffles and getting on the balls of our feet, starting to get the blood flowing a little bit more and integrating a little bit of cardio. Next, we're going to go into a warrior series, starting with the side lunge with some variations that I like to add. Going into a front lunge, the arms to the sides and up, integrating some additional shoulder activation into the lunging. Finish with a nice hamstring stretch. Do it on the other side. Going to full end range in the lunge, where you go on the side of your foot and also working on going up on the toes and the balls of your feet in the various positions. Activating the calf muscles and the ankles as we get up on the balls of our feet a little bit more here. Again, we're going to do a little boxer shuffle. Start getting lighter on the feet. And we're going to transition into the triangle pose, a few variations, starting with the triangle pose, then lunging from that position, and then reversing it. Do the other side. Keep your legs straight, looking up at your hand, working on the neck mobility as well. A little more boxer shuffle here as we transition into our next pose, which is going to be starting with the T-hinge or a standing warrior. Try to keep your heel up. Adding these rotations and ground touches is more advanced that you can do once you are more comfortable with the initial pose and T-hinge. Again, some variations where I like to add doing the same movements with the knee bent. So first with the leg straight and then with the knee bent, including these side rotations. Repeating it on the other leg. As we add instability, making the moves more difficult, it's increasing the activation in the muscles around our ankles and knees and hips, which is going to help lead to increased stability on the court for us. So we always want to continue to evolve and push our exercises so that we can increase instability initially, and then as we get stronger and become more stable in the positions, we want to continue to advance them. At the same time, making sure that some of the main fundamental technical elements of each of the positions are improving and staying sound. We're now going to transition into the dancer pose. Kick through your back leg and integrating the knee bend into it once you are balanced in the initial pose. Always helpful to find something to look at that's not moving and to keep your eye on it while you're doing the challenging yoga moves to help improve, maintain your balance. We're now going to finish in a mountain pose. I hope you enjoy. Every day better.